Continue to track the speech by Jeremy Corbyn that's still going on right now, but we want to get some analysis to the remarks he did make about anti-Semitism and the anti-Semitism row that embroiled the entire Labour Party a few weeks ago. With me in studio again, Owen Alterman and David Mencer. David, your response to what he had to say, acknowledging the trouble of the summer and sending a message of support to the Jewish community, saying, I am your ally.
Well, unfortunately, it's the usual words from Jeremy Corbyn, because on the actual facts, on actual Jewish Labour MPs who are being isolated and are being attacked and are being threatened with deselection because they are Jews and because they have some sort of affinity with the State of Israel, he's saying nothing. And there are those other MPs as well, like Ian Austin and like Joan Ryan, that have faced deselection calls in their constituencies. He's not backing any of those guys. He's not backing anyone that is in any way critical of him. He is just giving the usual general nice words about him being against anti-Semitism. This is more of the same. He's doing exactly the same thing. He's speaking in generalities about being in solidarity with Jewish people.
He did say, I would support Jewish community centers, Jewish daycares and houses of worship if they need...
Are we supposed to be grateful for that? I mean, excuse me. Am I supposed to be grateful that the potential Prime Minister of the UK says that he will provide police to protect against anti-Semitic attacks against synagogues? Am I supposed to be grateful for that? I would believe it if I actually saw that he was backing Jewish Labour MPs and prominent Jewish people in the community that are feeling threatened right now.
Including even at the conference right now.
Indeed. He's not doing any of that. It's the usual words. I'm sorry, I will not feel grateful that he will provide police for Jewish places of worship.
Oh, I want to just get your big picture reaction here in our last minute, because we were wondering how much time he would devote to anti-Semitism, if at all he did spend a few minutes talking about it. What impact do you think it could have, if any?
Well, look, I think we just heard it right here. I mean, he did speak to the issue directly, and just standing on its own, it was a touching moment. I mean, he really spoke directly to this issue. I thought he spoke with passion. We saw and heard the extended applause, the standing ovation. Standing on its own, this really was a touching moment. I think the problem for the British Jewish community, we just heard, is it doesn't stand on its own. And after so many months of this scandal, after so many decades of Jeremy Corbyn's political activity, and you can't, in someone's heart, really separate the anti-Semitism issue, in many cases from hostility to Israel, it just doesn't feel like it will be enough. And the reality is, there's really nothing, I think, that Jeremy Corbyn can do at this point that will be enough. And I have to say, I'm not sure that the British Jewish community, or at least most of it and its institutions, have really been entirely honest with the public or even with Jeremy Corbyn about that.
All right, so we'll see how the fallout from this speech is still ongoing now. We'll have more coverage of this on I-24 News as Jeremy Corbyn wraps up his keynote address at the Liverpool annual conference. It's happening in Liverpool right now, the Labour Party conference. We will track it. I want to thank our guests, David Mencer, Owen Alterman. Thank you for your analysis and your opinions. Great to have you here on Daily Dose.